Yes. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, once again, I'm here available to ask any query regarding the course, Municipal Solid Waste Management. So, this will be a last interaction between me and you guys. So, if you have any query, anything, if you are unable to understand anything, so you can have few questions, and I'll be able to answer all your queries. So I think before asking any question, there is one question I had asked by one of the student, like Ajay Kumar, is asking about the number of question, type of question. So just to share with you, like your exam is short time left, obviously. So there will be MCQ, complete MCQ, and could be like 50 questions, MCQ, and different type of question. There will be some very easy questions. Few questions need to solve based on the some equations, which we have discussed in the collection of solid waste. And that's all about the exam. So please have any question or anything there. So the question is from Vedika, like when can we call a waste as commingled? Is there any definition? So commingled is only means is a mixed waste. So it's very important also this question, because especially the dry waste is always is a mixed waste, different like paper, plastic, rubber, everything will be together. So that normally called as a dry waste separately. But when the dry waste and wet waste together will be there, then it is called commingled waste most of the cases. But if you ask the definition wise, definition also is very simple. The waste which is mixed. When you say mix means dry and wet waste together, mixed. That is commingled waste. Which and why is important to know that, because treatment is very difficult of mixed waste or commingled waste. Uh, like the biological treatment or chemical treatment, both will be difficult in this case. So is another question from Vedika only. In Kochi, gasification of waste plant by the local authority. So what should be the nature of the waste? Is a gasification. So gasification is especially for the dry waste. So they can't have wet waste. They can't go for gasification. Okay. So the first thing could be like they have segregation. They should have house to house segregation, dry and wet waste. So dry waste we can go directly to the gasification. But remember that before gasification is nothing but one of the combustion process. So there also you need to see that those waste which is have a good calorific value only has to go for gasification. So in dry waste also, like metal, glass, or any kind of an inert, you can't you can't utilize for the gasification. So mostly this gasification is known for plastic kind of material. So plastic, paper, uh, these kind of material will only go for gasification. So what could be in the Kochi, the local authority, like first segregation is a dry waste and wet waste. Then for the dry waste, there will be a sub-segregation. So in the sub-segregation, those waste which is combustible, that will get separated out from the non-combustible dry waste. So non-combustible could be uh, metal, glass, and the inert kind of material that will get separated out. The remaining will go for gasification. So gasification also, it won't be a alone process. They'll have pyrolysis followed by gasification. So normally gasification is goes to up to 1100 to 1600 temperature. So first waste has to dried off at 200 degrees centigrade. Then later 500, 600 degree temperature where it will get pyrolysis and followed by gasification. Especially to produce the that syn gases, synthetic gases, which has very good amount of calorific value, can be utilized for different purposes. Then biodegradable waste is not suitable for gasification. No, no, it's not possible. Biodegradable matter, how it can go for, because the gasification is nothing but a combustion process at 1100 to 600 degrees centigrade. If you combust the biodegradable waste, what could be possibility? Because in biodegradable waste, 92%, 95% is water is there. So if the water will come out at 200 degrees centigrade, then what will be the remain quantity? So there is no benefit to feed biodegradable waste into the gasification. And remember also, when you talk about combustion or when you talk about specially pyrolysis gasification, your waste has to properly segregate it. So it's not only the segregation, but sub-segregation is also required, especially pyrolysis gasification. So is another question like what about bio-CNG production? Yes, this biodegradable waste can go to the will go to the or can go to up to bio-CNG production. So might I think everyone have heard of like Indore plant that is Asia's biggest bio-CNG plant that is based on the 500 tons per day biodegradable waste. They are feeding into the anaerobic digester. And bio-CNG is nothing but a similar to CNG. When you say CNG, CNG is almost 92% of methane gas. So here also, when you say anaerobic digestion will generate biogas, where almost 60 to 65% methane will be there. Then after purification, it will go up to 92%, which normally we call it as bio-CNG production. So I think when you're talking about Kochi, might the idea about like when you segregate the waste, dry waste, wet waste. So uh, the wet waste will go for bio-CNG. Entire wet waste can go up to bio-CNG. The dry waste will get again sub-segregated. Sub-segregation will be there where this metal, glass will go for recycling. The remaining will go for the gasification. And only that maybe 15-20% will be remain biodegradable, which can't be a recyclable, which can't be go for gasification, will go to the landfill site. And that is the major idea about the solid waste management rule 2016. If any city or any corporation, any local authority can reduce the waste at dump site to reach to dump site or disposal site up to maybe 10%, 15 or up to 20%, that is the best idea about proper solid waste management. Okay. So is another question like what other than incineration can we do with diaper and all? So see, these all diaper or these kind of waste. I don't think so. You should have utilized for any other purposes because it has pathogens, and I think there will be a lot of health issues. Maybe some part could be a recyclable if it's a plastic, but I think mostly you should go for incineration only. Like similar with the biomedical waste also. So plastic and those things can go up to can go for recycling, but remaining things go for incineration only. But the incineration also another problem, like will generate a lot of flue gases which has to be treated. Now actually diaper, especially when you are talking about diaper, in African country they're utilizing diaper which can be a biodegradable, which are biodegradable. So that is like water hyacinth is a plant. They are preparing diapers from the water hyacinth. So those kind of diapers and all could be possible to utilize for composting process if it is a biodegradable. But in India, it's not very. everywhere is not utilizing those kind of materials. So this is what I think most of the discussions is about. Uh, if you create such kind of product which is degradable or biodegradable, so can be utilized in the composting process rather than sending to the incineration facility. So is question how the individual store diapers before giving to the local authority. So it's very good question. Uh, Actually, uh, these incineration normally is a very big process, which as per the solid waste management rule, if any authority can have the incineration facility, if the waste feeding minimum should be a 300 tons per day. But the what incineration I was talking about it, household facility. I think if you see most of the uh, uh, girls hostel, it have very small incinerator where for single diaper we can incinerate, which doesn't produce much pollutant, which doesn't produce much amount of ash, and that can be disposable easily. So individually, when you are talking about individually, normally you won't find it at the household level, but mostly places like if you visit IIT Guwahati also, in some of our girls' hostel, we provided that facility, those diapers and all. They every personal can utilize that facility. It's just a simple feeding into the incinerator, and just it takes maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes to get incinerate completely. But there are some apartments, as I remember in Mumbai or Delhi, in apartment those facility we can create rather than unnecessary is disposing into the MSW or getting segregated specially and the local person will get collect that. Rather than that, why not we can incinerate there itself in the apartment level. And there are a lot of, I think, this kind of units available in the market. Maybe I think why I'm saying because it's somewhat costly also. Sometimes cost goes to 10,000, 15,000, or some good units could costing more than 20,000 also. So particular household is difficult to have, but in the hostel or in the apartment, that facility we can create. Facility. It's another question like why do you call street sweeping as in art and that content dry waste? Yeah, you're true. Actually, dry leaves mostly will come in particular season, but in India there could be maybe 2 or 3 months, or maybe maximum 4 months where the street sweeping also will have dry leaves. remaining seasons you won't find it. But if you see the weight, because dry leaves have the weight is very low, very small, and whatever the soil kind of material or soil which is sweeping from that normally inorganic in nature. So that's what we called as a inert street sweeping. The quantity wise also, if you see that 95% or 98% will be the inert only. Remaining these dry waste which is biodegradable or something like that, that percentage is very low. That's why normally we called street sweeping as an inert only. I thought of, I think there is not any query on composting or anaerobic. It's good. I think this question is there any difference in treatment for vegetable waste and cooked waste? Yeah, it's very good question. And also, I think this kind of discussion will never available. Mostly, when it people says that biodegradable waste should go for composting or could go for CNG production or biogas production. Now is important because vegetable waste doesn't have much amount of moisture. Okay, and cooked waste means, especially when you talk about Indian cooked waste, is not only consist of most moisture but also consist of oil and other masala. Those things will be available. So normally these vegetable waste should go for composting process. Very good, where moisture content is 90-95%, easily can be degradable without generating any leachate and all. And cooked waste, because the cooked waste have oil also. In Indian cooked waste, you will find 10%, 20% oil also. A lot of masala and all will be there. You should not go for the composting process, because if it is utilized for composting purpose, then moisture will be more. There could be a leaching, so entire process will be anaerobic, would be possible composting. So I personally, if you ask me, like because I'm also working on compost and biogas things, so we propose normally vegetable waste should go for composting process, and cooked waste should go for anaerobic digestion process. because moisture is always is a high. Moisture is high, so you can again add some water. Make it a 1:1 ratio. One will be cooked waste, one will be the water. So 1:1 ratio, and mix this properly and feed it into the anaerobic digester. So that issue normally many people says that oil could create problem, but that 20%, 30% oil doesn't create much problem because you are already mixing with 1:1 ratio. So obviously that percentage will be low down, and other like masala and other things also won't create problem in anaerobic condition. Whereas if you utilize for composting, it will create problem. So entire composting process won't be aerobic in nature when you are adding the food waste. But I think these questions will be always there at household level, how we can separate it out both. So we won't say much onto that thing like key segregate in India cooked waste generation household level is not very high concentration. Peelings will be more. And that is a vegetable waste. You know? So at household level, what we say is that mix together both and feed it into vermicomposting unit. That is the best thing at household level. Or if you are talking about like some hostel is there or maybe hotel is there, there I think both things will be separated out very easily because before cooking that vegetable will be cut down, peelings, everything will be there. That you store it separately, and after cooking, the cooked waste somebody is eating and they'll dispose the waste into different container. So this segregation could be possible in those cases. In India, mostly the cooked waste also, I think normally we feed it to the animals. Like if you visit Northeast, uh, here the pig farming is very common. Pig farming, and might everyone aware that pig food is very costly food. So this cooked waste normally we're feeding to the pigs. Pigs won't eat that vegetable kind of material. So, but cooked waste they can easily eat, and easily they like it. So, but as per the researcher, uh, so vegetable waste should go for composting, cooked waste should go for anaerobic digestion. If not possible, everything mixed together. Try to reduce the moisture content of mixed material, and then you feed it to the composting process. Or if we are proposing anaerobic digestion process, so vegetable waste mix into the cook waste, grind it, mix into the water, 1:1 ratio, and then feed it in the anaerobic reactor. That is also possible. So both can think both material can go together also in both the methods. This question is like waste throwers are plenty in Kerala. How can this manage to be stopped? Ah, see, I don't know how to answer this query. It's not only in Kerala, but in other state also is similar. You'll find the waste throwers. I think everyone should be very well aware nowadays. See, every time we're talking about what the local authority is doing. See, uh, local authority also can design anything or can do anything until unless the users should dispose the waste in the proper places wherever the locations will be available. And see, already there is a rule is also there, waste management, solid waste management handling rule 2016, solid waste management rule 2016. So everyone has to follow that. Problem is that the monitoring is also not possible in India. So there is a pollution control board should monitor, but it's not possible. So what you are asking, how can this managed be stopped? See, everyone has to get aware now. Suppose I think if you are eating somewhere, if you are having any purchasing anything, so in your back of your mind always has to go that if I am eating somewhere, if I am purchasing in the shop, or if I am at home, so some waste will generate. So where I can dispose of. See, local authority after Swachh Bharat mission, those facilities already provided. So now I think it's depend on person to person how they will do that. But it's a time taking things. I was thinking like when this Swachh Bharat mission has been launched, I thought of, I think people will get aware and those things won't happen. But it's not easy. It takes time to understand. So I think also rule also has to be modified. So you had mentioned about tipping charges for waste from September. Yeah. So tipping charges. So tipping charges is nothing but a because see the local authority alone can't have the collection of the waste, especially household waste. So they will ask some private party to collect the waste. Okay, so because so local authority had asked the private party to collect the waste, so authority has to pay some money for that. So based on that, the tipping charges has been finalized. Like suppose one city is having tipping charges like 500 rupees per ton of waste, and how they will monitor the local authority, like the waste, because finally the after collection of waste by the private party, they will deposit into the dump site. So in the dump site there will be a weighing facility where the waste will get weighed off, how much waste has been disposed. So and based on that they will calculate how much amount of waste collected. So I think that money has to pay to the private party. That is tipping charges. Earlier, actually, tipping charges was not there when this tipping charges is under the that PPP, public-private partnership, because this was started long back in 2006. Earlier, when the private authority had been called, it has been asked that to collect the money from the household level. how, from the household, each household, wherever you are collecting the waste, you collect the money from that. But I think people were not able to, people were not ready to give the fund. So it was giving from the local authority. Now also is same thing is happening. Local authority is collecting the, or maybe some of the city, the household they are paying to the third party. So in that case, there won't be any tipping charges. Many times in Delhi, Mumbai, the tipping charges could be like 1,000 rupees or 1,500 rupees for per ton of waste. Is a huge amount of money. That's why in the class also I explained about the collection is very costly process. Whether it will do by the local authority or they will call some private party to collect the waste. Is there any rule for marriage hall to collect money from the rented party for giving it to the local authority? Yes. In solid waste management rule says that the local authority has to create the facility to that marriage hall facility. Somewhere near, they have to provide the dustbin or they have to have get the permission. So suppose in the marriage hall, if there is a party or something will be there, so this marriage hall has to give it, has to tell to the local authority. Local authority will create the facility for the waste collection. So for that, the marriage hall people has to pay the money for that. So it is happening in most of the cities, like because these marriage hall people they can't dispose the waste anywhere. So they have to talk to the local authority. Local authority will create the facility. Mostly this collection will be under the private people. So under this private party will work under the local authority. So these marriage hall people they will inform to the this third party, private party, collection party. They will provide some facility for the waste collection. For that, they have to pay for that. So it's become rule now. Earlier, this was not under the solid waste management rule, but it is written in the solid waste management rule. If any kind of event is happening, it's not only the marriage hall, anywhere some kind of events is happening. So event manager has to talk to the local authority or that collection party. Okay, this is what the event will happen for next 1 day or 2 day or 3 days. So please provide those waste collection facility. The local authority will create that facility and that event manager has to pay for that. Yes, it is clearly written in the rule. And it should be because especially in the marriages and all, huge amount of waste is getting generated, which will be in mostly it is a wet waste also and dry waste also together. So some of the city they created their own laws, local law, where they were asking those marriage halls to segregate the waste. Then only they will collect the waste. So the marriage hall people they have to segregate the waste, dry waste, wet waste, or something like that, and then only local authority will collect, and for that is also chargeable, chargeable basis. So another question is like, is it possible to segregate the plastic waste based on the number allotted? How best we can do it? Uh, Normally, the plastic waste is those who are recyclers. They'll do the sub-segregation in the plastic alone, number wise. Only and most of the like the plastic recyclers, they will utilize very specialized plastic only, which is not recyclable as per the rule. They won't collect that kind of plastic. But normally, number wise, nobody will segregate. They what they will see, if there is a two three different type of plastic, which is everything is recyclable, so everything they will put it together. But many recyclers, they will they utilize normally the very special kind of plastic, which is not special type but similar kind of plastic they will utilize, like milk bags is a very common in most of the city, which I had seen in most of the cities in India. There's milk plastic bags, half liter or 100 ml. Those plastic bags is getting cleaned first by the water, and then is goes for recycling of that. But number wise, you need not to get segregate. Only those plastic which is not recyclable, they won't collect that. They won't collect. Only based on that they'll segregate. But we don't require much segregation, because all kind of recyclable plastic we can combine together and produce another kind of plastic out of that in the recycling process. But you won't find it like plastic segregation. Like Tetra packs may have lining system and maybe a many layer. Yes, Tetra packs. Normally, we won't recycle Tetra packs, and even I think in India, those recyclers they won't collect the Tetra packs. These normally Tetra pack they'll feed it into the incinerator only. Even Tetra packs or even the colored plastic also, they won't. But the recyclers won't collect those one. Colored plastic, and that also they're depositing into the depositing for, if there is a incineration facility, that will go for incineration facility only. So recyclers won't collect that. So that's what I think you were asking, like all when you say the plastic recycling, so it's not like all kind of plastic can be recycled. Yeah, it's true. So his question is like, what could be the cost of sanitary landfill per metric ton or so? Uh, oh, per metric ton, not possible to calculate, but it's very costly process. See, and cost wise also, it's very very costly process. Uh, why I think it's important to know that why is very costly process, because you required a proper liner system. To create lining system itself is very costly one. Okay. Like if take example like the bentonite soil itself is very difficult, very costly process, costly soil. I think 1 kg soil itself costing around 100 rupees, maybe 200 rupees, something like that. Bentonite soil, which normally utilized for the liner system. But the HDP liner also is very costly. Unit wise, I can't say that. So one thing is that leachate liner system, whatever, and also the for gas collection units and those things are very costly units. Their operation cost is very costly. So I can't say exactly the how much cost will be there. But if any city is planning to have in India, if any city is planning to have the sanitary landfill, means their cost minimum goes to, like if it is for 500 tons per day, so sanitary landfill could come up in around 200 crore to 50 crore projects, something like that. That's why we don't have sanitary landfills in India. Is the major problem. And for India, it's very difficult to us, difficult also to have sanitary landfill and all. The rule says already is segregation. Do the segregation and go for composting, which is much cheaper. Go for recycling. It's a much cheaper process than the compared to the sanitary landfills. So okay, I think maybe we can take one or two question last. One or two question would be possible. So the question is like what other courses like if you asked about regarding solid waste management, there are some courses also is floated which is running in this semester also. Like there is one professor from IIT Kharagpur. Uh, also has proposed, I think, had also few courses on PL's life cycle assessment in waste management, or plastic waste management. The course belongs to plastic waste management or reuse, recycle. I think also you can join those courses if you are asking about waste management, solid waste management. Those courses are good to you'll get a lot of information, and I tried my best to talk about some success stories in the field. Every lecture or every alternate lecture, I put up some of the slides on some case studies. So, but in other courses, you'll find more case studies. But I think this course is enough to know about solid waste management, anything. So the professor name is Professor Brijesh Dubey from IIT Guwahati. If not, I think you have not joined this course, but YouTube also, I think you can listen his courses, listen his lecture. You'll get a lot of information about waste management. So this question is that PPT were not available for last few modules. Are they available? Yes, he's already there. If not, I think I'll ask my office to have those PPTs. Just don't get worried about that. I think within 1 or 2 days, if it is not available, we'll provide those modules. And please prepare for the exams very well. Try to go to all the lectures once again, and also listen to my lectures. Is easy to understand if you know the entire flow of the course, starting from generation to disposal. We try to involve many issues in this course. I can understand you can say the syllabus is more. There are a lot of things are there to remember, but it's a MCQ, so need not too much worry. And many of the questions will be easy enough. So my best wishes to everyone. To best wishes for the exam, final exam, and hope everyone will get good marks, good score, so that in future you can utilize the certificate of this course to work somewhere in waste management companies. And if you share that Professor Kalamdhad's course you have registered, so I think mostly people know about this course and to me. So once again, best wishes, and hope I think everyone enjoyed my course. Okay, thank you very much, and bye bye.